cut through the room as you walk in. Heat from your body pulls me right in. Your eyes like on me, like a match to a flame. And nothing around us feels the same. I try to play steady, but the bass keeps climbing. Every move you give hits perfect timing. My pulse runs wild when your hand finds mine. Feels like the start of something divine. Me more. You take me higher than I knew before. Me more. I fall again and I keep wanting more. Rapture in my blood, rapture when you move, rapture on this floor, and all I want is you, my liefde, my liefde. You're leaning close and the night slows down. Your breath on my neck drowns out the crowd. Your touch is deep like a wave in my chest. I never knew a pull like this could exist. The room spins soft as the scents rise higher. Your voice in my ear feeds every desire. I follow your rhythm until I lose control. You pull me in closer and take my soul. My liefde, my liefde, me more. You take me higher than I knew before. My liefde, me more. I fall again and I keep wanting more. Rapture in my bones, rapture in your touch, rapture when you pull me in. I never wanted anything this much. My liefde, hold me right here in the color and smoke. Let the night take us wherever it goes. This rush hits hard like a perfect capture. Every move with you feels like rapture. My liefde, me more. You take me higher than I knew before. My liefde, me more. I fall again and I keep wanting more. My liefde, fed into rapture.
Hello and welcome to Podcast for Souls. I'm Anna. Please give a warm welcome to Brainy, aka Crystal, by hitting the like button and share your comments. Hello everyone. That was my new song, Rapture, My Lifted, Mi Amor. So Brainy, could you take a moment to introduce yourself to our wonderful audience and share a little bit about who you are or anything else you would like them to know about you?
Yeah, hello, my sangha, my community. Oh, where do I start? A little bit about me. I didn't expect that one. Uh, I
Take your time, take your time.
I'm just yeah, I'm just started my soul journey about 6 months ago, and I met Synthesized Souls through my tarot platform. I tarot read on YouTube. I just connected with tarot and I find peace there, and I really just like to help others connect with tarot and their divine. So yeah, I just recently moved to Florida in the United States. So just living Florida life.
Great, welcome. I know you're actually the next town to my town. I'm in Live Oak, and Brainy is in Mayo. And
Yeah, it was crazy that we met. I synthesized has come to my tarot readings a few times. And so as I've realized, it was funny because I was really given a reading about helping with collaboration and promoting and helping each other, you know. And so I had started with some of my people in my chat saying like, hey, do you have a YouTube? Like, let me help promote you. And Synthesized was like, yeah, I have a YouTube with music, amazing music. And so when I went to look her up, I was on a live, and I was like, "Oh, I can help promote you," you know, thinking I was doing something. And then I saw her sub count, and I was like, "Oh, wow, maybe you can help me out."
Yeah, I've been to your channel at least 3 times before I invited you over to have a conversation with me and my podcast. So, I mean, the cards that you have given me have been wonderful, like very positive and, the best cards you can have, a best reading. So, and I'm glad we connected. So, and I'm glad because you mentioned Florida. Initially, I thought you were in Gainesville, Ocala, because that's where I'm heading most of the time, 2, 3 times a week. And I find out you're right here next to me. And then, of course, we met last week for lunch at the Mexican restaurant, Mi Viejo. And yeah, the rest is
Yeah.
history. And of course, we went on Friday night, but it was raining to the live Christmas on the square. I think it's called right on the square, and we managed to.
Hmm.
After the rain, we managed to walk around and record a little bit. Unfortunately, Saturday was a damn. Uh, they canceled the Christmas on the square because it was raining, and I went out on a what do you call it, a birthday party for a friend, Italian guy, invited me over, and then we went to the bar and etc. So a lot happened after Saturday night. So it's been crazy busy for me. This morning I became an electrician because I have to fix a breaker, a circuit breaker, because I love power. So, and it's the fuse. It's just very windy and cold and rainy for like since Friday, right? On and off. And uh I left the box open on the RB connector. It's the way they install it. It's just backwards. I've actually need to take everything apart and see if I can switch it, because then I can close the cover. I cannot close it, so it's getting rainy, and then
Um,
all I heard was sparks. And I'm not an electrician. I don't want to touch anything, so I switch everything down because I hear the spark, and I thought maybe something could happen. But I had the meeting this morning, and then I started working on it for an hour or so. And yeah, it's working. So I'm live. We're live, and everything is working so far. Otherwise, I have to move back to my
when it
house,
rains, it pours, huh?
and I have to move back to my house. I kind of like in this little house. I'm comfortable here, so not looking to move back to my house. So it's working. Anyway, can you tell us why did you start doing the reading on YouTube, tarot readings on YouTube?
Oh, yeah, I started when I started, I um just read for myself to connect, and I just started to realize that it helped me align with my higher self. It helped me be connected to my source of a higher power. And it just brought me so much peace. And I remember before I started reading for myself that I had tried to reach out to other tarot readers, and they they cost so much money. So so I couldn't afford, you know, a session. And so as I started reading and realizing that I was able to connect, you know, and I just wanted to bring it to other people. And this came along with my sobriety. Uh-oh, your background. This
I was trying to improvise.
look,
Sorry for
bloopers,
that.
bloopers, right?
Oh well.
This no, it's okay. Yeah, this came along with my sobriety as well. So my platform changed. I actually was a classroom teacher. I taught kindergarten for like the last 8 years, and I had started making content that was for school children, and I enjoyed doing it. But once I shifted into sobriety and I stepped away from the classroom, I really wanted to start talking about those topics that we don't always talk about, which is sobriety. And I brought tarot into it because that's just a big part of my program of recovery is tarot. So I already had YouTube going, and I just kind of shifted into tarot reading. And I ride motorcycles too, so I do a little bit of what they call moto vlogging, where I ride my motorcycle and just chit chat and try to help lift others up. Things are hard. Life gets lifey, as I say, and we just need a little a positivity. So that was basically how it came about.
Oh, nice. So tell me about your motorcycle, because I used to ride a lot of motorcycle. I was a daredevil when riding motorcycle. I have
Yeah, right?
I have my friend. One time we went to a nightclub on a Sunday. It was an event on a Sunday afternoon, and instead of taking my car, my best friend Victor, I said, let's just ride my bike. But we were really an hour away. He was so scared. He grabbed my bike like and it's a what do you call Buell Blast. I don't know if you're familiar with Buell model from Harley years ago. They're not promoting those anymore, but you can still find them, right? And he grabbed me so hard. He was so scared. Actually, I was scared that he was gonna make me lose control the way he grabbed me. So, because I was crazy. I mean, this is a little racing bike. It's just 500 cc, right? So it's not that powerful.
Uh-huh.
Because I wanted a ninja.
Uh-huh.
You know the ninja Kawasaki.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm too
Right up there
short.
with like the Hayabusas.
Yeah, I'm too short for the ninja. When I first obtained my license, right? I obtained my license back in 2003, somewhere 2002. I was living in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, and they offer a free training, free class for the weekend. So you have
Oh.
to pass the written test, and then Sunday was the motorcycle test. So I passed everything,
Ah.
and right away you can ride. They give you a little permit right there, and then of course you have to go to the DMV to get the actual license or to update your license, right? To Because it's an endorsement. It's
Right.
not a separate license. It's just an
Yeah.
endorsement. So anyway, that's how I started the motorcycle. Well, a friend of mine actually had a Harley, a Sporter, 1200 cc. So this is a
Yeah.
bike.
Yeah.
So that's how I got started with the motorcycle. And of course, I was one time so drunk, I don't know how I made it home at a party. I swear to God, and I'll be honest, police can listen to me now talking about it, but I was so
Look.
drunk, I don't know how I made it home because my bike fell
Look.
on a pavement in the parking lot. My bike fell off, and my ex was there. I was dating some girl, and my ex was there and saw the whole thing, and she came running and said, "Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine. I'm gonna make it home." They didn't want me to leave, and I said, "No, I gotta go home." And I was an hour away. I was living in South Jersey, New Jersey, and they were like, "Are you sure you can ride?" And I said, "Yeah." I had to make it home. You know. So anyway, I made it home. So yeah, tell me about your experience with the bike. Where you've been with the motorcycle. Um,
Yeah, my dad always had a motorcycle, so I grew up around motorcycles. I even have like a picture when I was like 5 of me sitting on one of my dad's bikes. So I've always been fond of them. I always rode backseat. I always rode bitch. But what happened was my husband and I, when we first met, we've been together over a decade now. And when we first met, we had dreams of having a motorcycle, but we couldn't afford one. And when we finally got one, it was like 2 or 3 months into having it, and we had a freak accident. It was something along with the brakes, and we both went flying. And see, the guy before us, we knew had we knew him, so he had been tinkering with it, and we don't know if whatever he did to it messed it up or what. It was truly a freak accident. But what came with that is some PTSD, and I became a really awful backseat driver. I became really scared of freak accidents because, in my opinion, it was a freak accident. Nothing that Maddie did caused that accident. It truly was a freak accident. We were fine. I just had really bad road rash because I chose not to wear gear. We were going to help a friend move, so I had like a tank top on. I even had shorts on, but luckily Maddie gave me his chaps whenever we stopped. And so thank God I put those on before we went down. But I couldn't get back on. I never understood PTSD until that happened. And I tried to get on the back of his motorcycle 3 or 4 different times. And every time I would freak out, I would have a panic attack, and he would have to leave me on the side of the road and go get the car to come back and get me. So I told him I missed riding. You know, anybody that's rode before, like Synthesized said, it's something like we call wind therapy. Like it's truly a free. I don't know how to explain it, but other than wind therapy. And so I missed it, and I missed riding with Maddie. It was one of the things we bonded over. And so I said, the only way I'm going to ride again is if I get my own. And but when I was a teenager, I had a really bad experience with a dirt bike where I whiskey throttled it. So if anybody doesn't know what whiskey throttle is when you get on a motorcycle and you start learning to shift and you panic, your brain wants to find the brake, and sometimes you will push the gas in response to looking for the brake. And that's called whiskey throttling. And that's exactly what I did to that dirt bike. I gassed it all the way into the fence. And so luckily I was fine in that accident too, but I knew that my mindset was a mindset that was maybe a little panicky in that time of my life. So I knew that shifting would not be ideal for me. So they have motorcycles that are dual clutch transmissions where you can shift if you want, or you can just push the gas and go. And so I ended up with yeah, I ended up with a Honda CTX, and it's a dual clutch transmission. I can't remember if it's a 700 or a 750, but it's a pretty lower, it's nothing too crazy because it was my first bike, my first time to ride, like put my big girl panties on and ride with the big boys. So now that I have it though, I love it. Her name is Valiente because it took a lot. It took a lot of courage and strength for me to overcome what I experienced as PTSD to get back on the motorcycle and ride again. It felt amazing. So
Okay, I learned something new. I didn't know about the two clutch or anything. I thought you just is one side, the clutch and all that. I learned rather quickly. I think I passed the test with no problem. Some people did fail, that day and have to come back and retake the test, but I did well, I think.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I was comfortable. I was
No, yeah, the
I did the devil,
brakes. Yeah, no, yeah, there are like two different breaks, of course, but it's like whenever you're in a panic, it's a legit name for it, whiskey throttle, because it happens to so many people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a new word for me. Actually, I never heard that before. But yeah, uh, I rode to all the way to North Carolina, the Blue Ridge Parkway. Have you been to the Blue Ridge?
I remember we talked about it.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
we got to ride up there called the Tell of the Dragon. It is a lot of the locals say they won't even go there because there's so many people that go and visit it. But I was thankful we got to experience it. The mountains are the one of the most serene places to ride. Yeah.
yeah, and that's 450 miles or something, 419 from Virginia. I done it on a car. I never done it on the bike because it's a lot of winding roads up and down. You get tired.
Yeah.
Even on the car, you get tired. You have to stop, and there's a lot of spot to sightseeing, and take pictures,
Yeah.
and even barbecue, and they have like picnic tables and stuff like that, and places you can
Yeah, a lot
stay
to
along
do.
the way. Yeah, but I've done the car a couple times from West Virginia border, all the way to Tennessee, because it goes all the way to
Oh,
Knoxville,
I bet it was
Tennessee.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was amazing, but it takes a couple of days because it's you cannot go past 20 miles, 25 miles in some areas. It's very slow
Yeah.
because of the winding roads and up and down the mountain. I mean, you got 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, mount peak, feet. So
Yeah, I bet it would be amazing.
in the yeah, so all right. I don't know. You wanna let's check the chat quickly. Is there any
I
questions?
was in there a minute ago. I had to end up turning it off because I was worried if it was lagging too much.
Okay, yeah,
I
yeah.
put my link in the chat in case anybody wants to go check out my channel.
Okay, we have a comment here. So it says Brady it's too party. Can stay, but you'll have. Oh, can stay where you got it.
That's
Thank you. Okay, I don't know who's that is.
that's actually Maddie.
Oh,
Adventures in
Maddie. Oh,
K-pop
hi,
is Maddie.
Maddie.
That's my husband. Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't met yet, but
He's an
thanks
yeah.
for stopping by.
He's another YouTuber too, if y'all want to check out his channel. He does mostly moto vlogs. Yeah.
Motor vlogs. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I can add those links to the show notes after the live, so not a problem. All right. Is there anything else you want to talk about? We're just casually chatting today. I do have another questions, but I want to do that after halftime, after 5:30. So you want to talk about your maybe your experience with tarot and the people coming to your channel because you kind of new to the tarot reading.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, what happened was I I had read for myself a few times about following my heart and following my passions, and I love teaching. I did enjoy teaching. I love my students, but unfortunately, in the public classroom, there's a lot of negativity, a lot of we're asked a lot to do a lot outside of just teaching and for free. So I started developing a lot of negative feelings surrounded around all that. So I decided to step away, and my tarot just kept calling for me to do something that aligns with my higher self, you know, that makes me happy. And so I've made like the business cards, and I didn't even think I wanted to go on YouTube, but I didn't know if I would or not. And it was actually a friend of ours, Sterling Wells, his name, and he's another YouTuber as well. We have a lot of YouTubers. Maddie, my husband, Adventures of Kepop, is one of the ones who started the YouTube adventure. And I saw that he was enjoying it and having fun, so he knows a lot of YouTubers as well. But Sterling said, come on alive and do a panel with us and do readings. And it was my first time to ever read for anybody else. And I said, okay, Spirit told me to do it, so I did it. And it was just a beautiful journey. Everybody there was very receptive. I know Synthesized did mention that I could read for people. I do forewarn people on my platform that I'm not a reader in the traditional sense of a lot of people want me to read other people's energies, and because I believe so heavily in karma, I worry to read other people's energies. So I do tell people on my platform that I'd stay away from reading other people's energies just because I don't want any karma on me, you know. I don't want anything. So mainly my readings are more aligned for the self and for your soul journey. So if you do ask, you're more than welcome. I know Synthesized mentioned that we might do a few readings. So if you are asked to if you want a reading, just keep that in mind, that it is more aligned with yourself, your journey, and your soul journey, connecting with your spirit tribe, you know? Yeah.
Great, thank you. How about if we take a little break and play your favorite song right now, Crystal? I think
Yeah.
Burn Slow is one of your favorite ones. I know you have a couple,
It's
but
so sexy. I love it.
all right. So let me switch the screen here quickly and let's play that song. Somehow not getting
Your hands trace the edge of danger. Every breath's a perfect stranger. We're fire trapped in skin. Where do we start? Where do we begin? You say love's supposed to fade, but baby, I'm not built that way. If we're flames, let's burn slow. Take our time, let the embers glow. No need to crash, no need to go. If we're fire, let's burn slow. Moonlight dripping down your spine. fine. Every second tastes like wine. We don't need forever now, just the heat and the vow. Hold me where the dark can't find. Lose the world, we'll lose our minds. If we're flames, let's burn slow. We've got nowhere else to go. No need to crash, no need to know. If it's love, let's burn slow.
All right. So I had technical difficulty switching to the other screen. Doesn't want to do it for some reason, the window. So that's why we're on Teams. So anyway, we're back. I hope you enjoyed that beautiful song by Synthesized Souls, Born Slow, available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube Music, and on this channel as well after next week. Actually, I haven't released the album. So all right, let's switch gears now. Like to talk about vision boards. Are you familiar with vision boards? Love attraction, soulmate, twin flames.
Yeah, I had heard of vision boards and manifestation a while back, but I didn't really read much into it. As I mentioned, like my spiritual journey really took off about 6 months ago, and well, a little over 6 months now. And I couldn't find my spiritual home. I didn't know. I was in and out of organized religion, and so I couldn't find a home. I knew there was a higher power. I just didn't know what that looked like or what that was, because every church I went to, I couldn't identify with. But um, back in May is when I went to treatment for my alcoholism and addiction. And there, part of our recovery program, they had us make a vision board of the life that we wanted to manifest. And so it was my first time, and we had the magazines, we had the big whiteboard, and I had already knew then that I wanted to move from Georgia to Florida. I knew we wanted to buy some property. I knew we were going to live camper life for a little bit. And so on my vision board, that's exactly what I put, the camper, the land, the garden, yeah, all that stuff. So I was just telling Synthesize the other day that now that that's come to fruition, we've made it happen. I need to make a new board because now I need to put my paid for home on there. Maddie wants to build what we call a gnome home, a hobbit home, where it's actually got, dirt around it and it's got plant life around it. So that if a hurricane does come through here, like Maddie said, what is it going to do? Blow the dirt away? So it's like partially underground, and we need a pond, not need is a strong word. We want a pond, and our dogs have a lot of running space, but we have 9 acres. So I want to manifest more fencing, the resources to make the fencing happen for the pack to really have a lot of room to roam. So, yeah, that's my little experience with manifestation and vision boards.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I was just showing you. I don't know if you can see on the screen. This is what I'm doing lately. I don't do it every day though. It's a little journal I was told to write. So my soulmate, when she arrives next year sometime, I guess she was gonna. I'm writing little love letters, I guess. Sure, one page, maybe two pages.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
ask me what I write because I don't even understand my own handwriting anymore. So, but I don't know if she's gonna be able to read it. But I am writing love letters, manifesting her almost daily, not every day, because I'm distracted with other stuff sometimes that I forget to write. So, but
Yeah.
this is one way to do it, right? Writing, journalizing. Um, I've done the vision board. I started actually back when Oprah was, she has her own show, Oprah show. She had the, what is it called? the book, The Secret. So there was videos in the
Mm.
book. So I bought the book and I bought the video as well. So, and I was living in Raleigh, North Carolina, right? And I was
Yeah.
traveling. Actually, I was a consultant, travel pharmaceutical industry consultant, and I was in Maryland, Washington D.C. area, back and forth. And 2008. Sorry, I started 2000 at the end of 2006 after the show, Oprah show. I bought the book and everything. And then I created my own vision board. I had a digital version of my vision board, and then I had on my wall in my bedroom. I had also a cardboard with pictures, houses, car, you name it, right? And I had like three women.
Ah.
I was manifesting three different women. So, and love relationship and the house, you name it. So I had everything but the woman at that point. So
Hey,
anyway,
synthesize. I don't know. Divine Affirmation says they're waiting to join.
who is?
Do you have somebody else coming on the panel? Divine Affirmations.
Oh yeah, yeah. I can. Just give me a second. Let's finish the
Okay.
vision board, and I'll let him join us as well. Just give me one second. And
Okay.
then
Okay.
anyway, um, I had everything but the woman. I had cars and a motorcycle, whatever. So, and I was traveling for business, right? So, 2008 came around and there was a crash, right? The real estate crash and the financial crash. So, a friend of mine lost her job and lost her house. Um, so she contacted me and said, I don't have anywhere to go, And I said, well, you can, I have a 2.5 house and my daughter's there. She's going to high school. You can come over, and stay. I have an extra bedroom. I had a 3 bedroom and 2.5 baths, right? Beautiful, brand new townhouse in Raleigh, North Carolina, on the west side of Raleigh. And I said, you're welcome to come for a few days or weeks whenever you need. I'm not home. I'm traveling back and forth. So weekends I was home, and then I was in Maryland Monday to Friday, right? DC area.
Yeah.
And she came to live with me, I would say September maybe, and then October, November. By December, one night we're watching football, American football, and quesadilla, salsa and chips, and beer, right? Beer. We're drinking and talking and in the living room. And all of a sudden she said, can we check on psychics? Because she was really worried about her life and her future because she lost the house. She had no jobs, and she was drinking like crazy. She was really depressed and drinking because when I got home on Friday night, there was beer bottles, like a whole basket. Right? And I don't drink or anything. I mean, I'm a social drinker, but I don't really do any of that stuff in my house. And my
Yeah.
daughter was complaining that she was really like not doing anything in the house and not cleaning and not doing anything. Anyway, to help her out, I said, yeah, let's go to a psychic, let's. So we checked the phone book, Riley phone book, and we called three different psychics, right? And then we got an appointment for the next day. So we went to that one because the other ones didn't return the call, whatever happened. And so next day I dropped her off at this psychic. I waited outside for her. And after she finished, we were about to leave, right? And the psychic told me, like, do you want a reading? And I thought about it. I said, well, sure, why not? I'm here, right? So I went inside with her. She grabbed my hand and she started looking at my hand, right? It's a palm reading. That's what she gave me, a palm reading.
Yeah.
Very short, but very like, wow, amazing, right? So she started reading my hand. She was telling me I'm gonna live over 90 plus years old, and a couple other things. And then she said to me, you're gonna travel to Europe. She tells me. And I started laughing. I said, Europe? It was not even in my head, travel anywhere at that time, let alone to Europe. And then she said, you're gonna fall in love. So while I traveled to Europe, right? So I just laughed and I said, no, that's not gonna happen. So she's crazy. I just took it like that's just nonsense. So anyway, I forgot about it. That was December 2008, right? Then by April, I bought my brand new Corvette, a silver, silver, red car. And by before August, actually, no, take it back. I met a Dutch guy that was living in Raleigh with his wife, and we became good friends. He's a DJ, you know, he likes trance music, techno, and I love that. So he started making mixes for me. So he gave me a whole collection. I have a whole collection that he made for me. And we started chatting about music and techno. And then I was actually looking to buy a nightclub. There was one for sale and rented out. I was gonna start a nightclub. Uh, so he was gonna be the DJ, you know, play the trance, techno, dance club music. So that's how we started communicating. All of a sudden, he disappeared because I never started the nightclub. I didn't go that route. They were asking way too much money, down payment, deposit, you name it. So the deal didn't go through. So he disappeared on me, and a few months later, I found him in one of the chat rooms. I can't remember exactly, but we started chatting again, and I asked him, "Where are you?" And he was like, "I'm in the Netherlands." And I said, "Netherlands? What are you doing over there?" I said. He said, "No, I'm Dutch. You know, I moved back home. I left my wife. You name it. Like he got tired of the U.S. He said, I had enough. I'm going back home." So that kind of
Like, don't take
situation.
me with you.
Yeah, I know. Well, and at that point, I totally forgot about the psychic reader. You know, telling me about that I was gonna travel to Europe. And at that point, I didn't even remember anything. Uh, couple of conversations. We had a couple of conversations, and all of a sudden, um, I told him, you know, I'm tired, I'm bored, I want a new life. I got everything. You know, I got a house, I got Corvette, I got cars, you know, I have like three cars. You know, my daughter was driving my SUV because she was learning how to drive. So my daughter had one car, I had a second hand car, Toyota Corolla, and then I have my brand new Corvette, motorcycle, you know, so I started selling stuff and I got tired of the traveling, right? So I got a contract in our Research Triangle Park in Raleigh. So anyway, long story short, I told him I'm really tired. I don't like my life anymore. I want something different, you know, like something exciting, something different, right? And then he suggested that I travel to Holland. I said, "What? Just take a break, you know, you're stressed, whatever, you know, take a break and come to Holland for a vacation." And all of a sudden, the light bulb went off, right? So like, okay, I never even thought about going to Euro, let alone Holland, Amsterdam, right? So I start planning. Right away, I start Googling and searching, you know, and I booked a trip. I said, I'm going to take 2 weeks and go vacation. So I did that. So I told him, I said, I'm ready. I'm going to Holland for 2 weeks. Then all of a sudden, I start thinking, you know what? I'm going to look for a job. So I went to LinkedIn and looked for programmers in my field, right? And they were looking, pharmaceutical company, very, very well known pharmaceutical company, was looking for a clinical programmer like myself. I said, perfect. So I submitted my CV, and then right away they said, okay, are you coming to Holland? I said, yeah, I'm traveling, you know, and they schedule an interview. So all falling into place, right? Like destiny was putting everything into place for me to move to Holland eventually. And then 2 days before traveling, I decided to go on a lesbian dating site, right? And I met three women online and I sent messages. And I said, can you show me around Amsterdam? Because I'm traveling and I don't know Amsterdam and I'm going to be there for 2 weeks. Only one person responded. So you can imagine who responded. And I said to her, okay, when I get to Holland, you know, Amsterdam, we'll connect, you know. So anyway, I had the interview. I moved with Michael to his place in Almeida. He picked me out at the airport. I was near the airport, one of the hotels there, and I scheduled the meeting with her on a Friday night. Friday night, unfortunately, Friday was rainy all day, so I did not. I canceled. I canceled on her. I said I don't want to go to Amsterdam. I'm an hour away or so. You know. I don't want to travel to answer them. So she rescheduled and accepted the next day. So Saturday, August 8th, we reschedule our meeting so she can show me around Amsterdam and all that. So, and that's what happened. And that's how I met my ex, Dutch woman. So, but it was like destiny because I was told in 2008, December 8th, that I was going to travel to Europe and meet somebody, and fall in love with someone, which is amazing. It doesn't happen. I mean, I've done a lot of tarot readings this year, and I would say they're not too accurate whatsoever. Like, there's a lot of stuff that hasn't happened yet. It's in the future, or maybe it's never going to happen, because I have a lot of reading this year and they're very conflicting and stuff. So, I guess you mentioned energy. So, how you mentioned you don't read somebody else's energy, right? I know that's probably a lot of questions that you come across people asking you about
Sorry, my
energy
dogs are
and
barking.
yeah, company. So anyway,
No, sometimes the wind just blows and they bark.
okay,
You, I don't know.
all right. Tell me a little
Sorry.
bit more about the energy. How do you read energy? Maybe my energy. How you feel my energy? And I know you don't read somebody else's energy, but how you feel about reading my energy? Because I mean, the cards that I got with you are, I mean, amazing. I had a good read, three good readings with you. So
Yeah, so it's hard because I always tell everybody um that I'm not psychic. I connect with spirit, and spirit gives me cards that connect with you and your situation in this moment. But I always warn people that anything can change, anything. Just one little action changes everything. Um, so I guess what exactly you're asking me to read now for you, or were you asking what exactly were you asking me?
no, no, I don't need readings anymore. I don't know, but I was just wanted to ask you about your feeling about reading energies. It's all about energy and connecting. And you mentioned now
Yeah.
you have a spirit, I guess, you connect with, and because I mean, I think anybody can read cards, sort of speaking, but having a
Oh,
card,
right.
you can memorize the cards and the meaning, right? But I don't do that. I have my own cards, but I don't do that. I prefer somebody else to read me. But it's there's a lot of tarot readers that they're not really connected to spirits. They just do it for money.
Mm.
So I know a
You
couple
know,
of
I
them that
am.
are really good. So
I know what you're talking about. And unfortunately, that does happen. Just like with anything, we have people that take advantage of people, right? Um, for me, I really have to be mindful of what I do every day because one little thing I do, like falling back into my old addictions or alcoholism, can cut me off from spirit, you know? And because I work a program that requires me to pray often, to meditate often, if I find myself in a negative headspace, I have this amazing toolkit that I use to get out of that headspace. Because there's no way I could connect with my cards if I let we call this the 3D world, right? If I let this 3D world suck me dry. But look, if I was still a classroom teacher, there's no way I could read tarot because the 3D world would be sucking me dry. But I choose to work part time so that hopefully my tarot can take off and hopefully I can help others. So I really have to disconnect. And the same thing, and I guess like reading, like I do get a lot of people that come in, a lot of people wanting to know because love and relationships is one of the most difficult, that and money, career, and love are the biggest questions I get. And the career is easy for me to read all day long. It's the relationships, and when people do ask me questions about how the other person's feeling, that is where personally I just say, they're on their own journey. And if they don't want their energy read, then I'm creating that karma for myself. And in my spirituality, I believe in karma, right? So I do I don't I yeah, and a lot of people that come on my platform, they're like, I appreciate the ethics. But I also get the person just wanting to know. You know, I've been like that. I always tell people that come in for love readings, before Maddie, I went through 3 relationships, and each one of them were 3 years apart. And within a year of all of them, I knew I shouldn't be with them. I knew they were not my forever. And one of those I was with for 3 years, and I was hung up on the narcissist for another 3 years after we broke up. I don't know why, you know? So I had to go through all that. And so and my heart feels, I'm very much an empath. You know, I connect with other people's emotions, I connect with their feelings. So I truly feel what they're coming to me for when they come and ask me questions like that. But what I tell them is that it took me a journey of this recent journey to truly love myself. And that's really what it comes down to, is that once we love ourselves fully, unconditionally, then the rest will just happen because we love ourselves so much that we're attracting everything, you know, because we're on such a higher vibration.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Self-love. I ended up learning self-love too late, a little too late in my journey of healing. Uh, because as you mentioned, I was stuck on my ex as well for 8 years. This year hit me hard because I still wanted the relationship, even though she was the one who betrayed me in the relationship. She left me for somebody else, and I went on the hermit mode, especially in 2020. In 2021, I bought my property, and I've been here 5 years or so, 4 or 5 years, and um, I spent a lot of money building this property with animals. I had like 18 dogs, 150 chickens. I have two sheep, 7 goats, and two cattle, right? A bull and a cow. So I was busy from 5 a.m. in the morning to 10 p.m. That was my distraction. Like I didn't want to think about anything or anybody. And I would say I did a good job not crying or thinking about my ex, to be honest, during those years. But unfortunately, we had 3 hurricanes within the last year or so, that completely changed my environment and everything I was doing. So it caused a lot of destruction. Um, and I ended up starting selling the animals. I started thinking about moving, and I'm in the middle of that, trying to sell my property and move to another location, and which mean I have more time for myself now. I'm not preoccupied with animals, right? I'm not attending animals and caring for them. And it hit me hard again this year because I had that extra time, you know, to think about my ex again in the relationship. And then I started a YouTube channel, Synthesized Souls, of course, and I started writing music. And initially started as a political channel. I was protesting about my local government for violation. That's how I started my channel. And I created a few songs protesting about the local government and some other political, things like global warming and all that. So that's how it started, right? But then I switched around March, April. I started writing about my love story to a lot of the songs, and I started writing a book. So my She Loved Me Run is my novel, which is available on Amazon. So I decided to write my about my love story, and it hit me hard because obviously I have to think about what I went through, how we met, and until this year, right? And it hit me hard for a while because I was stuck on my ex, stuck on that relationship, and I wasn't healed. I realized I wasn't healed because I thought I was healed, because for several years I wasn't thinking about my ex or anything. I was just living my life, caring for others, and not thinking about myself, self love. So this year I've been working on myself now because I even let go. The last 2, 3 years I kind of let go and I started gaining weight, and now I'm feeling like great, because I dropped so much weight in less than 6 months, over 30 pounds. And my goal still go down 10, 20 more pounds. Uh, so maybe in 2 months I'll reach that goal, maybe sooner, I don't know. But I'm exercising, I'm working on myself and taking care of my body now, physically and mentally as well. So yeah, that self-love is very important when uh, you go through a breakout like that, and it's hard to let go, right,
Mm.
of that experience. So what would you suggest to anyone listening right now, or listen to this audio video in the future, about, besides self-love, what other recommendations, suggestions you can share with people? Because I know people go to you for advice, like love advice. So what else
Yeah.
besides taking care of yourself, to heal, would you recommend?
You, this may be really strange. I don't know how to explain it any other way because I was with my husband already who loves me unconditionally, but I still didn't have self-love. And I went through a period, it was 7 or 8 months ago, where I was in a pretty deep depression. And it wasn't centered around love, but this led me to self-love. And I remembered that a long time ago, over 10 years ago, was the first time I went to rehab. I went to a treatment center 10 years ago. And at that treatment center, they did meditation. And I thought it was a bunch of crap. I thought laying down for 30 minutes was not going to help me. But I walked away from that meditation feeling amazing. Now, of course, because I'm only 7 months sober now, you know the story. I left rehab, I didn't continue to meditate, and I continued my drug of choice in drinking, right? Heavily drinking. But what happened was when I got so depressed about 8 months ago, well, maybe it was like last January when all this started. It's almost a year now. I knew that I couldn't sleep. And I remembered that over a decade ago, I had tried this meditation and brought me so much peace. And I just needed peace in this moment of my life. It had nothing to do with my marriage. It was all surrounded around my job and politics. And I was just depressed. And so I Googled meditation, and what popped up was sleep hypnosis. And some people think it's like crazy. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But there's this YouTuber named Michael Seeley, and he has like a million subscribers. And I started listening. He has sleep hypnosis for anxiety, sleep hypnosis for self-love, sleep hypnosis for any positive change you want in your brain. Now, it wasn't just a sleep, but that was a piece of it. I would wake up in the morning because a lot of us don't realize it, but even when we're sleeping, our subconscious brain is always going. And this sleep hypnosis speaks things of positivity into your brain as you're sleeping. And so I would wake up feeling refreshed and feeling lighthearted and not as angry, you know what. And then that, like, I would come home from work and I would feel anxious and overwhelmed, and I would do daytime meditation. And it was those things, the sleep hypnosis, the daytime meditation, and a lot of prayer. Whatever your higher power is, I always tell everybody, in my opinion, all of these religions are referring to one God. We're all connected. And I find my God within myself. So when I sit in meditation, my God is here. I can connect with God whenever I want. There's no gender, there's no race. It's an all loving spirit. And through all of those components is how I truly learned to love myself and all of my flaws and all of my silliness, and I don't give a damn now. Like, you would have never seen me with feathers in my hair, a Ganesha behind me. I even use the bindi. When I read, I'll have bindi. I put my hair in pigtails. I would have never, I'm 41. I would have never done that 6 months ago. But because I found sleep hypnosis and a program that keeps me in a positive mindset, we often, and I'm a queen of it, we often put ourselves in victim roles. where why is this, happening to me? And it's easier said than done. Trust me, I'm not perfect at all. I still catch myself playing the victim. But what happens is when we play the victim, we're attracting more and more of that. That we have so much energy, and what we think is so powerful. So if we're thinking, God, I'm so ugly, or God, I'm so stupid, or this or that, then you're just attracting more of that. We really have to be careful and mindful of our thoughts and what we put out in the universe.
So you believe then in law of attraction, where you think about, you bring about. Like attracts like. You firm believer in that.
Firmly, yes. And they teach us when we manifest, and this is even in spiritual text. So when I went through recovery, I found my higher power, but I didn't know was that in a religion. So I started reading Hinduism, I started reading Buddhism, and even some of the Bible again. And it's all connected. It's just people taking it to control people. Jesus didn't. If you read the Bible, it's all connected about love for others and self-love. And in Hindu text and in Buddhist text, they speak about manifestation, and they say when you want to manifest, you have to really believe it's already here. Like feel the feelings that you feel when it's here. Like you writing your love letters, that's exactly what manifestation is. Which I know you have already done a lot of work with that. So you already have a little bit of or you already have a foundation for that. That's exactly what they say. They say, don't beg for it. Say, speak as if it's already happened.
Yeah, that's a good point. I started the journalizing or writing love letters about 2 months ago, but on and off. I don't do it daily. Like I tell you, too much stuff going on that sometimes I forget. But I do write then, and I hope to show it to my soulmate sometime next year. I don't know when she's gonna
Wouldn't that
turn
be
up.
amazing? When
I
you
don't know
meet
when
her,
she's
be
gonna
like, look
show
at all
up.
these lovely letters I wrote you.
Yeah, I know, right? I usually start to my love, and little heart and whatever. But yeah, you're right. I usually my manifestation process is really my mind, and it's hard because I am using my brain also because I work in computers. I work in also have some legal stuff going on. I'm working a paralegal degree. So and attorneys and lawyers and all that, and so I use my brain a lot, to do research, to analyze, write reports. And for programming, as a programming, you have to have analytical mind, to write programs and stuff. So my brain is really tired, and then on top of that, I don't sleep well. I wake up in the middle of the night,
Mm.
and I'm barely getting 5 hours sleep every day. But anyway, I use my brain, my mind to manifest, and I manifested the soulmates since at least April is when I started going to tarot readers and psychics, and that soulmate has shown on every reading every month since April, which is amazing, no? Because I officially started. Well, I started before April. I started manifesting my ex initially, which I decided to switch in May. So I don't know who I'm manifesting anymore, because it was conflicting, But in May officially I started manifesting with my mind because before was different. But anyway, uh, I started using my mind and to attract, and of course I feel like it's already happening, right? And sure enough, every month that I ask about a soulmate, she's there, But when she's going to show up, who knows? I'm getting before April. I'm getting actually it's looking more like after April. So, but it's fine. I think I need to take care of me first, finish the self love process that I'm going through right now. Uh, Move. I need to move because that's kind of my goal right now, to move, find another property, and of course my career, to have a stable career. So I think once those uh, takes place, right, it's aligned. I think that soulmate's gonna show out, and when I least expect it, because I know I can't think about it anymore. I can't control it. I can't control the process, and I've been told many times divine timing, which I know
Yeah.
I'm happy with that word,
Yeah.
divine timing.
You've also been told to balance, right?
Yeah.
Balance, but it's hard because you need to make money. So I know it's hard to balance work life when you need money.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, I know that soulmate's already here. I don't have to manifest her anymore. So I actually stopped that manifestation about 2, 3 months ago. And every time she show out, like she showed out last week on a tarot reader that I met recently, she was by herself in her own. She just started back again, and she was there by herself. So I decided to join without any expectations, and I started chatting with her, and I was listening to the. She was doing oracle cards first, right? And I was curious, and then she had a promotion, so I said, you know what, I'm gonna have a reading, and that was an amazing reading. I mean, I'm sure you watched my last video about the soulmate. That was such an amazing reading. I still watch it every day. I watch it. I listen to it because it gives me that motivation that she's around. Daredevil. She's a fire sign. I'm manifesting someone who's a fire sign. Who's a daredevil, right? Who it's someone like me who have the same value. We share the same values. I mean, the entire reading was so positive. The first card was the lover's card, and the last card was the twin flame card, which is the 401. So I thought that was amazing, right? Message. But then my question is when this is going to happen. And I know a lot of readers, and you probably also do know, tell people it's going to happen in 2 months or 4 months, 6 months. So you don't usually tell people when it's going to happen, right? Because that's you don't know really when it's going to happen. And I know a lot of people say
Right, because energy, yeah, energy changes everything. Yeah, I do. And some people come in like, when will this happen? And even one, some people have asked me specifically, what will your spouse look like? And I just tell them, if I have psychic abilities, I haven't developed them yet. But even if I, let's say, honed in, because I do believe of the powers of the world. I think my brain just has a little more growing to do before I can tap into everything. But honestly, if I could see futures without cards, I would strongly tell people, take it with a grain of salt, because one little action that you do will change everything, you know? So the cards are read in this moment. If things did not change in this moment, but anything could happen to you, and anything could happen to the other person that could change the what do they call the word, trajectory, or the path of it, right? One little thing, one person, one thing can change everything.
yeah, that's a good point. The energy shifted, and that's what most readers tell others. The come back tomorrow and ask me again the question. I hear that from anyone that I follow. Like
They
this is
just want the views. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, right. Come back tomorrow and ask me the same question. I heard that a lot. So because
Come
it
back
shifted.
tomorrow at 5 o'clock and hit the thumbs up, and I'll tell you exactly what your future is.
I mean, I laugh. I hang up to some other channel just to laugh because they make me laugh. It's like a comedy show.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Some of it is. It can be funny.
yeah. Anyway, let's. We're gonna do some card reading. So Oracle, I have my Oracle Isis card here. So let's see who wants to have a reading. But in before we do that, let me play my next song. I just released this song maybe a week ago, I think. It's called If I Was Your Girlfriend. So, all right, I hope you like it. Let me switch here. Let me see if it let me.
If I was your girlfriend, I would pull you to the floor, spin you in the neon lights, leave you wanting even more. I would catch your little glances, turn them into something bold. We were moving to the sunrise, never doing what we're told. If I was your girlfriend, you would feel it in the beat. I would love you side. Right there by your side. I will whisper in your ear all the things you wanna know. Take your hand and lead you through every high and every glow. We will shout our inside jokes over music turned too loud. I will make you feel like magic right in the middle of the crowd. If I was your girlfriend, you would feel it in the beat. I would love you with the rhythm you could hear from down the street. If I was your girlfriend, you would never wanna hide. I would keep you close and laughing, dancing right there by your side. Right there by your side.
All right, so we're ready to do some tarot reading. So, if anyone in the chat room wants to have a reading, oracle reading, or I don't know, you do like yes no questions, Brainy? Yeah.
I typically don't do yes or no's, but some of my cards do have a yes or no. Um, so some people will come ask yes or no's, and I'll just forewarn them that I'll pray over the deck, and there are some yes cards, but that there's no guarantee that they'll get an exact yes or no.
All right, sorry, let me switch. Okay. So if anyone in the chat room would like to have a reading, go ahead and post your questions. And yeah, I have my ISIS card as well, so I can give you a oracle advice card. So you read the chat on your side?
Yeah, I see.
Okay.
There's a couple of people in there dancing, they said.
Okay.
Divine and Chumba. Chumba.
I don't know if anyone is asking. Sorry, I don't have the chat in front of me. So if anyone wants to ask a question, feel free to.
Yeah, jump in the chat and let us know. Typically, people come in and ask me for a general read, or they'll ask for a love read or a career read.
Okay, sorry. Let me close this. All right. Hi, Andy. Hi, Shumba. Hello. You're dancing on your own. So
Not on your own. Look, people all over the world are dancing with you.
shake it, Andy. Yeah, shake it. Chumba, I was talking to Andy about maybe my birthday. You guys can come over to Orlando and we celebrate. We do live music, tarot reading, and synthesized souls music. How's that?
Yeah, where does Angie live?
Andy and Chumba, they live in the UK, like Scotland, I believe.
Oh, let's go to overseas.
All right, Chumba is asking a question. You want to go ahead and
Yeah. All right, Chumba. Can I ask what's coming towards me in life? Okay, sure. I'm gonna pray over the deck and shuffle, okay? Chumba. Higher power, source, creative all. Thank you for this platform. Thank you for this collaboration opportunity. Thank you for Synthesized Souls and her lovely community. I ask that you guide my cards and my words for Chumba. Chumba's here just asking for a spiritual connection and advice about what's coming their way. I call upon Chumba's spirit team, their spirit allies, their divine, to come in with words of clarity, prosperity, wealth, health, and abundance. One rises, we all rise. And so it is. Okay. I'm split the die. And then I usually do 3 cards. All right, so your first card, look, and I was shuffling. I was like, somebody in here is getting this death card. So, not literal death. Sorry, that sounds pretty like intense. When I was shuffling before I even started, the death card popped out, and I was like, somebody's energy has some kind of big ending beginning. So, the first card you got is the Tower, which is kind of similar to the energy of the death card. I surrender and know how to go forward. So it's a pretty intense card, Chumba. I hope I'm saying that right, Chumba. Is that right? The Tower often brings sudden change that's unexpected and chaotic. It is time to surrender rather than fight, as an old situation, relationship, or belief can no longer stand up. But the Tower reminds you that you can recover and construct something better now that you see the truth. So it's like a card of personal breakthrough, enlightenment. So this could have already happened, or it might be happening now. And then look, the death card did come out. So there's some big things happening in your life if you push me. Look. So the death card is another one. The power message is I let go and embrace new beginnings. Those are 2 major arcana cards, and they're pretty big cards. So I don't know if these things have already happened or they're happening currently, but a situation's coming to an end. This ending may be out of your control. Death here is not physical death, but it's a transition. It heralds necessary change, new beginnings, new opportunities. You can now see the truth and let go so events may take their natural course. Oh, wow, pretty deep. I will rise above the ashes like the phoenix. Look, my pin is the phoenix rising from the ashes. That's amazing. And then you have temperance. Temperance is the only angel in tarot. So you have the angel temperance here coming to give you so much love and light. Temperance shows the need for balance. Of course, if you're going through the Tower and through the death card, temperance is here to bring you balance. When life gets in the Tower into death, find whatever you do, whether it's, I always tell people, whether it's meditation, prayer, nature walks, animals, do whatever you do to balance yourself, especially if you're experiencing the Tower and the death card, right? You may need to budget or plan your time to create more stability. Temperance is with you, though. Those are very deep cards. You got 3 major arcana cards, Chumba. That's intense. You got a lot going on. I'm sending you so much love and light. And I don't know if Synthesized wants to end their reading with a oracle card or not, but that's a lot. That's a lot.
Hi, Shimba. I have this card. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Oh, it's a beauty. Yeah, beautiful.
That's a Queen of Heaven. So the Queen of Heaven, let me see if I can read. I need glasses. The Queen of Heaven, the Divine Empress of the skies, acknowledge your feminine authority now. Sorry, I haven't heard time reading. As a man or a woman, you have a life path or spiritual leadership to bring qualities to mercy, compassion and wisdom into the world. So that's your card. That's a beautiful card. I like it. I love anything about Egypt. So I spent many years researching Egypt. I even went to Egypt and the Giza and the other pyramids. I even rode camel. Though the camel riding was a little awkward for me. But yeah, I'm into the Egyptian, history and mythology. So, all right. Anyone else would like? Thank you, Shimba. Would like a reading from Bay?
Yeah, thank you. Soul said they would they would like a love reading.
All right.
Soul, okay. I'm gonna pray and then I'll put 3 cards down. Soul, okay. Higher power, source, greater ball. Thank you. Thank you for the space. Thank you for helping us to help others connect with their divine. I said to do the same with soul, as soul's just here seeking spiritual advice and wisdom surrounding their love life. I call upon souls, archangels, their spirit team, their spirit allies, their divine to come in with words of clarity, serenity, and just wisdom of how to navigate their love life. We know that's a hard one. It can be tricky. I'm sending them so much love and light. When one rises, we all rise. Okay, so I'm going to split the deck. All right. And your first card is the Six of Pentacles. I give and receive for the universal good. And Pentacles are usually centered around a lot of time finances. So we'll see how this plays in. But it can play into love as well. Six of Pentacles. Generosity and compassion. You benefit from a giving, generous help and assistance. You help someone in need out of kindness, or you're the recipient, willing to graciously receive aid in the form of money, time, and practical support. This six brings harmony and balance. So you can be assured that it's right to give to others or to receive. And this could be in regards to love. You know, it doesn't always have to be finances, it could be love. There is no ulterior motive, agenda, or feeling of compromise. It can signify a donation or even like a karmic debt being paid, which brings balance and personal peace. It's just like overall very peaceful card. And then your next one is the Queen of Pentacles. Wow, that's another Pentacle card. Pretty cool. Support and sensuality. As a person in your reading, this queen is a helper, full of practical advice and support for friends and close family. She is firmly rooted to her home and naturally nurtures everything and everyone in her circle. Down to earth, she is a pragmatist who values actions over words. As a situation, the card represents excellent management, financial abundance, and giving, and can also denote empathy with nature, children, and animals. The message here is generosity and financial and emotional security. I don't know how they're relating to your love life. You always tell everybody that however it resonates, because this could be generous in terms of your emotions and being willing to give your love, because sometimes we safeguard them, right? Like when we've been hurt or burnt, sometimes we won't release our love because we're safeguarding them. But you've got a lot of abundance going on here with the Six of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. And then you got the Star. So the Queen and the Star, I don't know if it's referring to you or the person you have your eye on or who you're manifesting, but the Star is a beautiful major arcana card. And it could be, like I tell a lot of times, if you're in a negative headspace, sometimes divine comes through and reminds you of how amazing you are. So the Star card says the Star brings inspiration, hope, and healing. Protected and guided, you find your creative and spiritual path. The card indicates that creative projects are beginning to flow and can often denote healing and other therapeutic work. This may be an emotional time when you feel connected with and focused upon your personal goals. So yeah, I don't, however connects, if you feel like this is you and divine's reminding you of how great you are and that you're worthy of everything in your love life. Basically, the Pentacles and the Star are giving it. If you're single now, and this is divine saying, you won't be single for long, huh? I don't know if you want to do an oracle card or no.
Oh yeah, I shuffle the card. Let's see. This is the what I shuffle. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That's really cool.
Yeah. All right, we have the Dark Healing Chamber. The most challenging task is to take courage in both hands and journey within to meet our own dark self and begin the healing task of bringing love, acceptance, and light to it. The sacred purpose of any enemy, within or without, is to push us to venture inward, to seek and heal the darkness within. What a message. Wow. Okay.
A deep, yeah.
Yeah, no.
And to be ready for your next love, yeah, or to deepen the love you have now, you got to do that healing, right?
Wow. Those are powerful messages. I like the cards
Yeah.
angels and very interesting. So, all right. Anyone else would like a reading? This is your opportunity. Now that we have Brainy here. Otherwise, we may have to. Do you want to stop around 6:30 maybe, or because I know you have to
Yeah, we
do
could
the
do
lab.
that.
Okay, so we'll wait and see who else would like a reading. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me scroll up and see if anyone else posted something else. All right, so Andy, come on, Andy. You have a lot of questions. Which are okay?
He said, "Who's gonna win the soccer game?" No. My
What
dad
should?
said, "Hey, now that my dad said, now that you're reading tarot, can you tell me the winning lotto numbers?" I was like,
I,
"Daddy, I wouldn't be in this old camper if tarot could tell me how to win the lottery."
well, I've been buying the lottery based on the numbers of the cars I'm getting, but so far it's no good. So far,
That's a good idea, right? I've been practicing listening to Spirit, and I was like, Spirit's telling me to get a lottery ticket, and I won like twice. I guess Spirit didn't tell me to keep doing it because I lost the third time.
it's interesting. When I moved to Florida, I barely win anything. When I was in North Carolina, I was winning every time there was a lottery, Mega or Powerball, easily $80 here and $20 there, $10 here. Here in Florida, barely a Powerball. The
Nothing.
Powerball give you like $4, I think. So not lucky Florida. I have to move. so so let's see if we have anyone else would like a reading. And I really appreciate your time today, Crystal.
Yeah, I've been, like I said, I've been getting my own tarot readings where it's talking about collaborating in any way I can spread love and light, you know.
Oh yeah, I sorry, I'm going back up and I can see. So where is is next year the World Soccer? Is that what's going on? Or no?
I don't know. I just saw Divine said soccer games.
Well, June is uh, for my community, I guess the gay community, it's Pride Fest, So I have some plans in mind, but I don't know, that could change. But, and it could change if I meet the soulmate before that too, or during that time. But I want to promote my novel, She Loved Me Around, right? So my plan after December is to go out more, to go to bookstores and places that have, gay, lesbian events and promote my novel. But because my novel has the bundle, right, the music in the novel, I have to. I'm thinking burning some CDs, though I don't think people use the CD anymore. I don't know. What do you think? I'm
Hey,
debating this.
whenever you remember the coffee shop I took you to,
Yeah.
the coffee shop I took you to had a band playing, and I connected with that band because they were people in recovery also singing songs of spirituality, and I bought their CD and I play it all the time in the
Oh,
Armada.
okay. So, all right. So maybe I will borrow some CDs. Because then I want a bundle. I have to order the book, right? The hard copy, the printed paperback.
Yeah.
But I can
And
also
on the
order.
CD, you can put the QR code to your YouTube. So if they don't want to use the CD, they can just scan your YouTube, you know,
Oh, good idea. Thank you. I wasn't thinking about that.
on the label, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Then I'm gonna go ahead and do that at the end of December. Order the books, bundle everything, and burn the CDs with the covers. She Loved Me Wrong album is not out because I don't want to put it on iTunes or Spotify or anything because there's no money there. It's just a few pennies here and there. They're selling it for 99 cents per song. So my idea is to sell it in a bundle so I can make more money. That's why I have not released the album yet. But I will release it by June. I think by June I will release the album. But not before that. So I want to take time to promote it and sell it as a bundle. So thanks for the tip, because then that's what I'm gonna do. But then again, June is the month that we celebrate gay pride and stuff. So that will be a good time to make money. You know, if I go out to one of those events, there's a lot of people out. You know, thousands of people go to Pride Fest, get a table, and hopefully I can sell not just the Kindle, because I have the electronic version and I can send them to Kindle, you know, Amazon. And it's not a lot of money on Amazon, the Kindle version, but the paperback it is. So that's where I can make the most money. So
Yeah, that'll be cool. Promote it. The sirens were going off, so the dog started howling.
yeah, we're almost there. So we have 6 more minutes to go, and anyone else would like a reading? I don't know.
Divine said, I'll have a reading. Can you give me a guess that Scotland will win the cup?
All right, yeah, let's go for it. Let's go.
Look, I told you I don't use I remember we were talking about pendulums. I just bought one the other day. So let me
Oh,
pray over the pendulum and see if Scotland's gonna win the cup.
that's a good
All
one.
right, Andy, take it with a grain of salt, buddy, okay? Higher power source. Andy wants to know so bad. Will Scotland win the cup? All right, let's see.
Are you playing Andy? Maybe if you play
Let's
Andy,
see.
well, a Scarlet will win.
Oh, I think I got a yes, Andy. I got a yes. You see it? You owe me $100 if they win. If they don't win, I said take it with a grain of salt.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I bought a pendulum.
When did
You
they
know,
actually play?
yeah, I bought a pendulum, but I don't know. I asked for advice to my good friend. She sent me a message saying that I had to clean it first, right? Because it wasn't
Yeah,
moving, and I said, "Why is not moving?" I was like, "What is not moving?"
yeah, I have crystals here, and they usually say to use a clear quartz to clear it, and they
Okay.
say to hold it so it can read your energy. So I like held it the first day I bought it, and I prayed over it, just like I clear my deck of negativity. I clear the pendulum, but I've only used it one other time. Somebody asked me, was a woman at their work copycatting their work? And I my spirit just saw my pendulum, and I was like, "Look, I haven't used this yet, other than on myself." I said, "I've gotten yeses and nos for myself. Like it says to ask it easy questions, to show me a yes, show me a no, and that was working with me, you know." And so I said, "Let me try it," and it did say that she did have a copycat at work, and I said, "Okay, but let me read the tarot behind it just to get confirmation." And sure enough, her read, even with the tarot cards, confirmed just to be mindful of her contracts at work and her ideas to safeguard them. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool to see.
Very good, very good. Yeah, I have to clean it. I bought salve, so that's what I'm using now to clean my environment, you know, and whatever I'm doing now
Yeah.
every morning. I do it every morning beside the incense. I do light a candle here and there, but I do mostly incense all day long. And then the salve every
Yeah.
morning or any special occasion, every meeting, I do the salve, you know. So
Yeah, it definitely helps. I'll definitely, Maddie just calls me feral now or calls me witchy woman because, you know, we've been together for over 10 years, but I never was this personality before recovery. So it's like he calls me feral half the time. He's like, don't mind me, I'm just saging everything. And I'll go around him and sage him too. And he just lets me do it.
great. So all right. So well, uh let's end this conversation with Brainy. So to our listener, if Brainy insight resonated with you, please like this episode, leave a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe to Podcast for Souls for more empowering conversations. And don't forget to visit Brainy YouTube channel for even more guidance and wisdom. You can find the links on in our show notes. And thank you for tuning in. We appreciate your continued support. And should we play another song? Yeah, let me pick it up.
Yes, of course. Promote the música
La
para
música.
bailar.
Oh yeah, I forgot you speak Spanish. We should have done the whole show in Spanish.
Ay, Dios mío, yo no sé mucha español, solo un poco.
Solo un poquito. Well,. We can practice. All right, maybe next time.
Yo necesito practicar más. Yes.
Yeah, la próxima vez hacemos, hacemos la entrevista en
Ah,
español,
exactamente.
¿verdad? All right, I'm gonna leave you with Can You
Lights
See
flash,
Me?
I'm lost in
Bye,
motion.
everyone.
Heartbeat keeps the time. You're the spark in the commotion, but you never meet my eyes. I'm dancing in your orbit, like a secret satellite. You don't even know it. I've been burning through the night. Every move, every beat feels like you're close to me. But when the lights come down, you never see what's underneath. Can you see me? See me? See me through the smoke and the neon light? Can you feel me? Feel me? Feel me when the rhythm pulls us tight? I'm right here where you should be, but you keep looking past me. Oh, can you see me? Tonight, your shadow slides across the floor. Our timing's out of sync. I keep hoping for that look, but it fades before I blink. I'm caught inside this fever dream where everything's too loud and you're still out of reach. Lost inside the crowd. Every move, every beat feels like you're close to me. But when the lights come down, you never see what's underneath. Can you see me? See me? See me through the smoke and the neon light? Can you feel me? Feel me? Feel me when the rhythm pulls us tight? I'm right here where you should be, but you keep looking past me. Oh, can you see me? See me? See me tonight? If I vanish in the noise, would you even know my voice? I'm screaming through the sound, but you never turn around. Can you see me now?